Hi, guys and ladies. Wow, these went fast. Those of you who bought from me before have seen some of these videos that I've been doing know that I only make 6 of anything at a time. That doesn't mean I'll only ever make 6, but just to keep my quality control and some limited editionness or whatever you want to call it to it, I only make 6 at a time, and generally you'll probably ever only see me make, well, I've made hundreds of creatures over the years, but with these items I'm trying to keep them as limited edition as possible, so you probably ever only see me make about 100 of these. This is the mini Gypsy crystal ball, and it is a zombie ball. When I was a kid, the very first magic trick, I think, other than that flippy coloring book thing, was the zombie ball. And I used to go to a place in Garden Grove, California called the Sherlock Holmes Tobacco and Magic Shop. An old guy named Jim, he sold tobacco in the front and magic in the back. And so I would save my allowance and go down and give you a little, hey, how's it going? I would save my allowance and go down and get basically whatever the guy showed me was awesome, and I was about, I think, 8. Anyway, so I got a zombie ball, and I played with that thing, until all of the chrome wore off of the ball. It was one of the old ones where it had the classic rod with a cork out of the back, and the ball was, I think it was real metal. Had the hole, and you had to, do it with the fullard and, all that stuff. I never liked the fullards that most zombie balls come with. I think they're too colorful, clowny, whatever. I mean, it depends what you're doing. To me, the zombie ball is one of the most incredibly cool things ever, mostly because it's one of the first things I ever saw. So over the years, I've always wanted something that I could carry in my pocket to do a smaller version with. I've always liked the idea of the zombie ball, but generally they're too big and too much stuff to carry around with you. And I always thought it would be cool to just be able to do a makeshift impromptu zombie ball at a table. And so I put my mind to working on that. And I know I've had friends in the past that have done the Thanksgiving dinner or whatever, the fork with the napkin and the dinner roll and the zombie dinner roll. And so I got to thinking about that, and I was like, maybe there's something there. And again, I love miniatures, so there you go. So that's what we came up with, was the, and the other thing is, it makes more sense to me if a zombie ball has a function. So that's why when I make the bigger ones, you may have seen some of the bigger ones I'll make up every once in a while and put out. They light up, and which I like that because the fullards, you can see it back behind the fullard doing more than just being a bump in there. But I've always tried to make them a functional item. So crystal balls, that makes sense to me. Gypsies, crystal balls, and why not? I mean, crystal balls are magical and should do something cool and spectacular other than just gazing into them. So this is my solution, and I hope you like it. It was a lot of fun to come up with, as all this stuff is for me. And here's the workings, so to speak. Here we go. You get to look down here now. So what you're going to get, oops, let's not do that. There we go. Okay, what you're going to get is a very unprofessional video. And you're going to get a little setup here. You're getting a handkerchief, and these handkerchiefs are nice, by the way. They're cotton men's handkerchief, black. They've got a beautiful border around them, and they're very, very nice and silky smooth and all that, the things you would want in a handkerchief. So you're going to get your handkerchief, and you are going to get this special little box Okay, and it looks like an old antique box, which is pretty much what it's supposed to look like. And inside, you're going to get a little ball. And this ball is, I don't know, about an inch, inch and a half, whatever. And you can turn it around and show everybody your little ball. And then what you'll do is you will take your ball and you will put it right there on top. There's a little bit of a bevel hole there. Okay, you can see. Now, something that's very cool, and then here's our little. See, here we'll go. You can see it's got some cool bordery stuff on it, and it's just sheer enough to see through. Because what you're going to do at one point is you're going to want to polish your ball. And under the guise of polishing your ball, that's where the magic starts to come in. And now this ball does all kinds of cool little things, hopefully. Here we go. So I'm going to do this for you without the silk because I want you to see the hookup. And it works just the way you would imagine it works. This is your little zombie rod. I like to call it a rod zombie. Anyways, people always call this hookup or this bend the Tommy Wonder or the Loosander bend or whatever. I don't know. I'm 61 years old, and the very first zombie ball I got, I bent it just like this because it just seemed obvious to me. The one I had when I was a kid had like a spiral thing where you stuck your finger in. I never liked that, so I just bent it kind of forward to create more of a handle. But okay, Tommy Wonder, here's your historical reference, and thank you for all of your contributions. But anyways, you see that it's like this. So what happens, you'll notice here, is it's got a velvety little pad here, and this is so you can hold your finger on it. This is to create your pressure, and these have all been tilted up and turned and angled just right. And then you'll notice there are magnets here. Can you see that? Glued in. So what happens is, let's pretend that you've got your silk, and then I'll go over how to retrieve this and other little things here in a bit. So I just want you to get how it works and just see how quick the hookup is. You're going to come in like so, and oh, you don't really know about the secret part. Okay, the secret part is this. There's another magnet right there. Okay. So let's back up because I'm old. There is a hole in the bottom of this, okay? This light, if you just hold it and turn it just a bit, is not on, okay? Here's your hole. Goes in like so. Your top goes on. This is all hanging out the bottom, and there's a reason for that. So when you hold it, you're going to be picking it up like so. Da 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 da. You know, it's not that big of a deal. Open it, turn the top of it upside down, and under the guise of going like maybe like that and dumping it out, then you're going to turn the whole box upside down on top of that top. Okay, and now you've got your ball, and you can show it however you want. This piece back here is long, and it's very easily concealed in your fingers. Okay, and all you've got to do, under the guise of rubbing it with the cloth, which is what I like to do, is just give it a little turn at the same time, and the whole thing comes on. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it off because I want you to see how this is set up. There is a magnet on the bottom of this piece. Put some glasses on. Okay, See this one right here? There's a magnet right there, okay? And it hangs down a little bit more. So when you set this ball down on to this little hole thingy, you're going to set it like this. So that magnet is now underneath, okay? It's not on top. The magnet's underneath, okay? Now, when you come from behind after you've picked up your follard or your hanky or whatever you want to call it, and you see this magnet, here's how quick it goes. You come in, up, and boom, you're attached. And now, you're doing your whole deal. You got ooh, all that neat stuff. Sorry guys, I'm kind of weird. Ooh. My kids are always like, Dad, why do you have to do everything with sound effects? I'm not sure, son. Just keep flying. So, okay, so that's how that works. And then as you come down, you're just going to, as you come down, you're going to come across like you've caught it. And as you do that, you're just going to disengage this, come back. I just lap it is what I do, because the whole, this is here and all that neat stuff is all here. Now there's a couple of ways you can retrieve this and all that neat stuff I'm going to show you here in a bit. You need a jacket generally to do it. So basically that's it. It's very simple. It's very, very straightforward. This is the light. It goes in and out of this little sleeve back here, just like so. So when you go to put the ball down, this is how you do it at the back. So this is, all of this here is hanging off of the back. So from the front, nobody can see that, okay? And you can do this relatively close up. I've done it. I mean, I did this for years in the Cabinet of Curiosity show after the little meet and greets and stuff that we did afterwards. And honestly, I wasn't going to release this because it's one of my little fun favorites, but I think it's time to let it have some more fun with some other people. So anyway, so there you go. And then again, it's pretty simple little hookup, very just there and there. You come under, a boop. Now you will notice that this can turn a little bit. I always like to, when I hook it, I always like to get it so it's going out maybe just a little bit, because that way when you have your little guy doing its thing here, woo, and so forth, it doesn't want to move too much. If it might go back towards you a little bit, that's not going to kill you. You can just kind of come in like that and move it back a bit. I don't ever really have that problem, and I'm going to show you why here in a bit. I take a little bit of rubber cement, and every so often, you don't have to do it a lot, but every so often, take some rubber cement and a Q-tip and just dab a little bit of the rubber cement on this magnet here, and the bottom magnet here, because of polarity, this won't stick to the top. It'll only stick to the bottom. But I put two magnets here because the double force of the polarity on these is going to make it pull much greater. So anyway, so what you do is you put a little rubber cement there, you put a little rubber cement on the bottom of that one, and let it set off to the side and dry for 20 minutes or so. That way, when you do your deal and come in to pick this up, it has a tendency to, well, it doesn't have a tendency to turn. Okay, so I find the turning is beneficial to me. I mean, because it's not super loose, it just gives you enough. friction to keep it. But like I said, the rubber cement may help you out if you're finding that to be a problem, but I don't really foresee that it is. Okay, so now here's a couple of ideas for you. As you saw in the performance, I had a jacket on. And I like to, when I've done this in the past, I like to keep my, we'll move this up a bit. There we go. Steven Spielberg, I'm not, guys, sorry. I like to keep my handkerchief in my kerchief pocket of my jacket, okay? On the inside of my jacket, in most men's jackets, you will find the wallet pocket. This fits perfect into the wallet pocket, okay? So I've got this in my wallet pocket, and I've got this little end hanging out like so, okay? So now I have introduced this, and I have it sitting out here on the table. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the tip of my kerchief, and I'm going to grab the gimmick at the same time. And when I come out, very quickly, you will find that I have loaded the gimmick into it. The cool thing about the fact that this is miniature and so small is you can get by with a whole lot with just this little guy. And then you go across, or you can just lay the whole thing down and pick it up and do your yada 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 while your gimmick is hidden underneath the cloth still. And you do this, it lights up, you set it down like so. Here, it's just like a family reunion, guys. Nobody knows what the heck's going on. Okay, so you pick this up like so, and now I've already got my gimmick. I'm going to come across like this. I'm going to come underneath it, click. I like to do it very subtly, so it just... So people are like, oh, there's something in the box pushing it up. That's got to be what it is. And then you blow their mind, because then you come up, you can't see the box anymore. Now here's something else that I've done in the past too. Have someone select a card, put it back into the deck. Obviously you'll have to come up with your own method, mark cards, whatever. Fan the cards out in front of you, okay? The other thing that you can do is, when you're doing this, you can actually have it come down, and you can get it to hover over their selected card. And you can even, maybe if you get good enough at it, maybe push it out. I'm not sure how you do that, but if you put a little rubber cement underneath there, it might do it. Just let the rubber cement dry, and then just push their card out to them. So push their card out. Yeah, that's it. Something like that. So there's that. You come down like you've caught him. And then I come back. Oops, don't do that. I come back, and then I just lap this. That's the thing that I like the most about this. Being so small, is you've got a lot of leeway to play with. So anyways, there it is. There's your little ball. I'm going to send an extra couple of these lights to you as well. This one has got the black tip on it. Unscrew this one, and then just make sure all the batteries are in there, and rescrew this onto one of the ones that I send you, if indeed your little dealy womper goes dead on you. Now these little teeny tiny batteries, I don't know what they are, but